I am going to go ahead. My clock says it's 5 o'clock, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. In front of everybody is the agenda. I need well, you want to call the meeting to order first.
Roger?
Yes.
Tiffany is absent. Lisa?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
6 are present, 1 is absent.
Now, in front of everybody is the agenda for this evening. I need a motion to approve and adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Roger.
Second.
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Sean Siebert to approve and adopt the agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next item on the agenda is consideration of a 4-day school week for the 2023-2024 school year. Dr. Davidson, do you have anything to add from shared?
Yeah, I can just say I appreciate everybody's input and consideration of this and looking at it, going back to the very beginning, was brought up from teachers and parents to look at it. I've heard it's been brought up before, probably not looked at this much in depth as it was this year, but it's been brought up. Sent surveys out, I appreciate those that responded. We had 73% of our parents and guardians in favor of it, and 91% of our staff in favor of it. Our facts still remain with our district. We're facing across the state and nation even just a teacher shortage, high turnover rate, different things of that nature. So there's a lot of positive benefits to it. I did have a positive experience in a prior district with it. So I do not have any reservations recommended to the board an approval of the 4-day school week for next year. So confident in our admin team and staff we have to make this transition happen if the board so wills it.
I do have a question for the board. Kind of a statement first and then a question. So Margie Van Dieven at a superintendent conference in August, September, had made the statement to area superintendents that if you are looking to move to a 4-day school week for teacher retention reasons, that you were doing it for the wrong reason. And she came back and she said that there's just not data to prove that there's not learning loss, and DESE doesn't even have the research yet to see how it's affecting learning. And so then I go into my question, and basically our discussion of a 4-day week is centered around teacher retention, and it was reported in our presentation that we had a 26% turnover rate last year. And what do you think or anticipate that the turnover rate will drop to, or better yet, as a board, what is our goal? Like, what is our percentage number to hit? Basically, what metric will we use to know if this switch is even working for teacher retention purposes? So, as a board, do we have some sort of goal that we are looking to hit? What is an acceptable turnover rate? And maybe that's not an answer that anybody can say tonight, but it's worthwhile that we need to have that on our forefront.
I wouldn't say that I don't have a number or a percentage, but just in general, I mean, our hopes would be, and that's in every district that you're in, our hopes would be to be lower than what we did hit. And there's a lot of different reasons why teachers move. There's a lot of different reasons why people, you know, stay in districts, small districts, and some people don't. Sometimes it's pay, sometimes it's, you know, they move with their significant other, or they, you know, whatever. There are lots of reasons. But I think overall, you know, our whole focus has to be, as a whole, our entire district. And we want, you know, we've said numerous times in this room, we want it to be the best district that it can be. However that is, whatever that looks like, you know. But to give you an actual percentage of, man, I would love to say I wish we had a 2%, but that's not realistic. That just isn't going to happen. Not in education, because 21 years of it, I can tell you, I've seen a lot of people come and go. So, but that's that would be my thing. My whole thing is just, looking in our district as a whole and making it the best educational facility that we can for our community.
I guess, go ahead. I guess I would add that whatever happens with 4-day week and a 5-day week, it's just one issue to address a larger issue of culture. I know that if you go out to Mo teaching jobs right now, there's over 440 jobs already posted statewide for next year. And it's November 10th. And so I think, what's important to me, and I'll visit now, is that, to my teachers and to the employees of the district, this board supports you. We listen to you. This process in making this decision was unfortunately significantly more difficult than what it should have been. And because of that, hurtful things were said on both sides, and it was unnecessary. Because regardless of the decision that is made tonight, nobody wins. Because if you don't feel supported by your community, then it doesn't matter if it's a 4-day week or a 5-day week, and that makes me sad. But I'll also say that I don't believe that to be the narrative. That this is not a divided community. This was not a divided decision. The data certainly shows not even a majority, a super majority of support in this area. So if you left last week at the public forum feeling disheartened or disenchanted, I would say be of good cheer, because that is not how this community sees this district. This community sees this district when they watch Miss Moore and her amazing band. And why we haven't given her a gold star, I don't know. But we probably need to do that. Or when we watch our volleyball players, when we look forward to our basketball games, when I love watching Randy Bouse coach baseball. I love talking baseball with that guy. And these are the things that are happening. These are the conversations. This is the narrative. If you open up the newspaper and get past the first headline, you've got nothing but 8 pages of kids doing amazing things. If you need some motivation or inspiration, and it's go watch Mrs. Reeves teach a math class and be inspired, because she is a jewel. And that's every day in this district. And I can look at other teachers, go enjoy a kindergarten music session. If you need to sit in there and do a sing-along with them, and you will be motivated and encouraged and inspired. Ms. Williams stopped me on the way in with a $50 by Friday project that she did with her students that is phenomenal. We've got ag students that just went to the FFA National Convention. We have art students that just have some of the most amazing and beautiful artwork that you will ever see. And we've got college-bound athletes on every single sports and athletics team that we have. That is our narrative. This is not a divided community. And so back to 4-day week, 5-day week, it's part of culture. And to retention, I would say that it's us working together to recognize that it's not any one thing, it is everything. And I thank everybody on every side of the issue, because bringing forward concerns and thoughts, because regardless of the outcome of the decision, you've given everybody something to think about of, okay, what processes need to be looked at, what systems need to be in place, what are we doing, what are we not doing. So I just sit here and say that to us and you, I will do my part to retain you, because I'll do my part to tell a true narrative, which is that of a district that's doing amazing things. We have challenges, we have adversities, we have demographically, we face socioeconomic challenges. But that's not the only part of the reality. So one other thing that I think that there was a question last week about why did we do this at 5 o'clock, and I can say I'm to blame or give credit for that, because I can tell you exactly why I made that motion. It's because I'm looking at my administrators, and I'm looking at my teachers, and I'm looking at the people that work in this district that are required to be here, particularly my administrators. And having a public hearing and having this session, we mandated them to be away from their families 2 more nights this month. And I see them as husbands and wives and mothers and fathers. And so, what we don't necessarily see is, the 4 or 5 nights that they're supervising an activity or this, and they don't get to be mom, or they don't get to be dad, or they don't get to be spouse because they're here doing that for other people. And so the intent, at least my motivation to have them here at 5 o'clock was maybe that's 1 more night I can give them back with their families. Because that's right there, if you look, 1 school, 1 community, 1 family, this is a family. So I support you, I appreciate you, I appreciate the emails that you have sent. And to this question, culture is a big thing. And it takes all of us treating our people with dignity and respect. I'm sorry that some of us got screamed at last week. I don't know of anybody else that's a regular component of your job where it's what you deal with every day. But that's what it is in this profession, and I hate that that's an accepted practice, because it's not an accepted practice, and that's something we have to work towards. It's human accountability. So to yours, that's where I would go. Is that whether it's a percentage or statistic, I think there's a larger issue of culture. We've got the right people, we're doing the right things, and we have an amazing story to tell.
And I agree that culture is a big part of it. I still think that the question is something that we need to look into as a board, because we are accountable to our community, we're accountable to our teachers, we're accountable to our taxpayers, that if we are putting something into place that is affecting everybody in this entire district, we have to have some sort of metric that it's working, that it's effective. But it also goes back to, as a board, we had voted to put together a climate and culture survey committee, because I would go back and say that your teacher retention problem is a culture problem more than anything. It's also a salary problem, and a part of me is concerned that this is somewhat of a Band-Aid fix if we don't fix the root of the culture. And so I think that obviously as a board we had things that hit us. We had high up positions that we had to find replacements for very late in the game, but we still need to be looking at our culture of our district. If we get to the end of next school year, or even going into the 23-24 school year, and we have a 26% turnover rate after we've approved a 4-day school week, well then we still have a problem that we have to fix. And so, we need to look into that culture. We need to move forward with that survey, because we have to better our district for everybody.
So do you need a motion?
I do need a motion. Sherry, did you have something you
Well,
wanted?
I was just gonna say, our 26% turnover last year was it was an extremely unusual year. A lot of things took place. We had people that retired, we had people that left, basically go back home because they wanted to be back with their family. And 'cause I know what that's like when you're not your own family. And just other things into play. We have great people here working. I've known a lot of these people, some of them almost forever. I've seen them grow up, go to school here, everything, and they're great. And I don't want to lose these people, but and I did some research, and Missouri's not the only state that is doing the 4-day school week. There's other states that are doing this. No, there's not a lot of data out there yet, because even though it has been around a while, we haven't heard that much about it. I believe it was Lathrop was the first school in Missouri that started it, and they've had it for 12 years. They're extremely happy. Of all the schools that have gone, one school has gone back to 5-day, but I never really found the reason why. There are other schools close vicinity to us that are looking at it. I'd say they might be looking at it even more depending on what we do tonight, but this is something that I think is going to be the norm for a while. The last couple of years have been awful, and if you're looking for data from them, whatever data you do receive, I don't think you can really consider it very accurate because it's been so off. It hasn't just hit schools, it also has hit businesses. If you look at what's going on out there, it's hit everybody, not just here. But Roger, thank you. You did your job. Sean, you did a great job in your explanations. Jennifer, I appreciate everything that you had, what you've looked for. Lisa, but whatever we decide, all of us have to stand together.
So I'll just say that this is a bummer seat right now because no matter which way I vote, I'm going to hurt people I really care about. I'm going to hurt people who have raised and loved my kids and taught them. So for anyone who thinks that we're not doing our research or that we don't care and that we're just trying to get this to go, I assure you that that's not the case. I really care. I mean, my husband and I came back here because we wanted to raise our kids here. We wanted to have that small town community that I loved growing up in, and we've had that. I do believe, like you said, Sean and Jennifer, about culture. It's a different school than when we grow up. Saddens me in a lot of ways. Gets me excited in a lot of ways because there are some things happening that blow my mind. They're really exciting. The culture. When I came in, I was really kind of shocked and sad. But it starts here. And our teachers are a big part of it. I mean, huge. So when the majority of them feel that this is something that needs to happen, I want to listen, because if it doesn't happen, what does that say? What is our culture going to become when we don't listen to that? Not just that, but seeing what the parents came back with, parents and guardians, that was a pretty big number to not look at. I haven't been approached personally by too many community members that weren't for it. I haven't felt too good in the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to do that research of going out like I wanted to. But honestly, the ones that I would trust, I know that they know that I'm going to do whatever I believe is right. And there are going to be bumps no matter which way. We're going to have some tough decisions. A lot of things to fix, a lot of things to really listen to the teachers to make it better for our kids, no matter which way it goes. Anyway.
Jason, I do want to say one more thing. There were some things going around about, well, if we go to 4 days, the teachers are not going to be teaching as much as they have been. That is extremely false. It is set the amount of time that they have to be here, have to be in the classroom, have to be teaching our kids. So if you hear that, that is totally false. And please find out the correct answers before we start spreading rumors.
Lisa, I agree that the people on the board, in this room anyway, I think that everybody in here will vote as to what they see best. And I think that each of us they may have different reasons for voting a certain way tonight. But I think that it really comes from the heart as to what, Jason may have a certain reason for why he's going to vote yes, no, blue, red, whatever. And I may, and Sherry may, and Sean may. But at the end of the day, I've lost sleep, I've been angry, I've been sad, I've been happy, I've been back to angry, back to sad, back to, I don't even know what I feel anymore. But I just know that I can confidently walk out of the room tonight knowing that I will have voted as to what I think is absolutely best for kids.
there any other discussion? Dr. Davidson has put a motion, he has recommended a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion has been made to approve the 4-day school week. I need a second.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Motion by Sean Siebert, seconded by Sherry Shute, to approve a 4-day school week for the 2023-2024 school year. Sean Siebert,
Yes.
Roger Bridgman,
Yes.
Tiffany Dickens is absent, Lisa Elrod,
Yes.
Jennifer Moreland,
No.
Sherry Shute,
Yes.
Jason Mel.
Yes.
5 yes, 1 no, 1 absent.
Having that said, I need one more motion this evening, guys.
I will motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Roger, seconded.
Motion by Sean Siebert, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to adjourn. All those in